Hello and welcome to the WOOLapyk podcast. My name is Ida and this is a podcast about knitting. It's been a little while since I've done a podcast in English, but I've done a couple in Danish, which I really enjoyed. But I think I'll talk more about that at the end of the podcast. And I think let's just talk about knitting. It's the evening and I just came out from putting my daughter to sleep, so I'm a little, waking up a little bit again, I guess. Anyway, so I have two finished objects. I actually have three, but I can't find the third one. It's here somewhere, but I don't know. But excuse me. The first thing that I have finished are my Selbu mittens, and these are knit in WOOLapyk yarns, and the pattern is by Skandir. Her name is Ellie. I think her designer name is Skandir too. But I'll try to remember and write the show notes, and you can go down there and have a look because I'm not sure. So anyway, I don't know if you can tell, but one of these has been blocked and the other one hasn't. I don't know, can you tell? I hope you can. But this one has been blocked and washed and all that, and this one hasn't. And it's quite clear, to me at least, that they are very different, and it also shows how much a good blocking can help a garment or accessories this is. But let me put them on. These are called the did I say that already? Well, anyway, they're called the Speedy Selbu mittens, and they are called that because they are knit in Aran weight yarn. So for me, they still took a while, but I'm also not very good at color work. I haven't really done a lot of color work at all in my knitting career. So for me, they took a while, but they were still quick in the sense that I didn't really lose my interest in them. I don't know if that makes sense. Sometimes for me at least, if something is too intricate or too fiddly or things like that, then I will sometimes lose interest. But I didn't do that with these. I think the only thing was that I had to make two of them, which I just generally don't like. I rarely knit socks because I'm fine doing the first one. I find the second one pretty boring. So anyway, they're here. And like I said, I haven't done a lot of color work, which definitely shows on both the front and the back. But it's fine. I'm gonna wear these in the winter, and I made them so they could keep me nice and warm, or keep my hands nice and warm, and they will do that even though the color work may not be absolutely perfect. I talked about this in another podcast, I think, but I was trying to work with so when you do color work, basically you have to decide which color or which of the colors you want to be the dominant color. And then you have to make sure that you carry the yarn the same way throughout the whole garment or the whole accessory. And for me, I had the white color to be underneath the blue one. So the blue one was on top and the white was underneath it. And I did pretty good, but especially on, well, maybe you can't see because I blocked it, but there are some points where, for example here, see how the yellow almost disappears in the blue? And I think that's because I forgot and I switched the two colors around, and you can definitely see that. I also, I did something with the thumb so they're not completely identical. I really don't care. they are lovely, warm, and they're going to be so nice for especially biking in the fall. So I'm just really happy. I don't really have any gloves or mittens. I have mittens, but I don't have any that match. So all of last winter I was wearing 2 different mittens, and none of them were hand knits. And I had a lovely friend who actually she just knitted me a pair, so for the last months of winter I did have a hand knitted pair, so that was really nice of her. And they are in just like a single color. They're not colorwork mittens, so they're going to be, the pair that she knit for me are in just a single color, so they're a little thinner. So now I feel like these are going to be very warm for really cold weather because of the colorwork. They're knit double, I guess you can say. Yeah, so that's it. Happy that these are done. Then I can say that the garment that I can't find is a vest that I knitted for my daughter's friend. I think I have knitted on this podcast, but I didn't really I knitted it out of scrap yarns, and it had this mild effect of red and white, and I just didn't like it. So I decided to over dye it. I dye yarn, so I have colors to dye with, and I over dyed it with a brown. It didn't turn out. I will try to see if I find it. I will show it in another podcast maybe, but it just, yeah, I'm not really happy, so I'm actually knitting her another vest, which I will show you in a little bit. Yeah, so I have a little on to the last finished object, which is from this book by Line Holme Samsø, she's a Danish knitwear designer, and she's fairly old to the game. I don't know if you could say that, but she's been designing knitting patterns for many years, and I think maybe especially for kids. I have an older version of one of her books, but this is a new one, and it's called Babystrikk på pinne. Basically, it's called baby knitting on needles 3.5 and 4 millimeters. So the gauge on all these garments are pretty much the same. They're around 21 or 22 stitches per 10 centimeters or 4 inches. And this book is perfect for getting rid of your scrap yarns. Well, not the book, but the projects in here, because they're baby knits. I think they run from sizes 3 months to 24 months. Yeah. So I have actually been knitting quite a lot from this book. I got it, and I knitted 2 pairs of hats for my mother's group. I only have one. Which is, let me show you, because I don't have the hats. I already gifted them. It's this one right here. I guess you would call it a bonnet in English. I knit this one. So you can knit one with just a plain front, or you can knit one with like a diamond shaped. Can you see diamond shaped front? And I knit this. So what I was saying was, I have a mother's group that I've known since Asta was, I don't know, a couple months old, and we are 5 in that group, and we all have kids that are, 3 years old, 3.5 years old now, because that's, we had kids that are around the same time, and that's why we were in the mother's group. But 3 out of the 5 of us had a baby during the last 2 months. So basically during Corona, they had babies, and they all had boys. So 3 new boys are in the mother's group right now, and I have knitted hats for 2 out of 3. I need to knit the 3rd one. And they all got, oh, it's gone. They all got Rileum. And basically I think I knit the size 0 to 3 months. And it took almost a ball of yarn. And I knit them, and then I got kind of hooked because I was like, oh my god, that is so great. Like, those single balls of yarn are getting out of my stash. It feels so good. I really like getting rid of odd balls of yarn and scrap yarns and things like that. I feel like they stress me out when I have them in my stash for years and years. Yeah, so I need to knit another one of these. Sorry, I am all over the place. I hope you can follow along. But I knit these 2 hats. And then I got a little hooked, so I'm knitting another one. And then I knit, let me show you the picture before I show you my version. I knit this jacket here, which is called WOOLapyk. So we have Rilehu, which I knit for my mother's group's babies, and then I knit the WOOLapyk. So Rile is like, I guess it's garter. So it's a garter hat and a garter jacket. Yeah, so I knit this because I had 2 skeins of yarn in my stash from Edinburgh Yarn Festival from last year. I think it was last year. And I bought them in Edinburgh thinking that I would use that yarn for a baby knit, or maybe something for Esther. I was thinking maybe I would knit her a vest, but never got around to it. So I had 100 grams of this lovely yarn from, I think it's called Garthenor, something like that. And this is a 100% organic native Shetland wool from Uredale Farm in Shetland, and it's God certified. It's all sourced, scoured and spun in the UK. I mean, it's absolutely, it's everything in just a rustic, sustainably made yarn. And I knit, I got the white color, so it's called chalk. I didn't have enough, so again I had to use a little bit of stash yarn for the end of the sleeves, which I knew. I mean, the pattern calls for 150 grams for this size, and I only had 100 grams, so I was thinking that, well, I was hoping that I could squeeze it out anyway, but I knew that there was quite a big possibility that I wouldn't. So it's here, it's a size 3 months. I still haven't blocked it. I still need to add buttons. I knit the sleeves a little bit longer so that the baby will be able to wear it for a longer time. So I thought you could just fold them up, fold the sleeves up like this. And because it's garter stitch, it's just a very stretchy piece of fabric or stretchy garment. So, but it is, I will say, it's quite scratchy. Well, not, I would wear it, but it's not like a typical baby yarn. But because it's a jacket, I thought, or a cardigan, it would be fine since the baby would probably wear something underneath. And I'm not pregnant, but I am hoping that, you know, when I get pregnant and have a baby at some point, then this will be for that baby. So I will keep it until that happens. Let's see, it's just a very simple but sweet little garment. And I also think once I'm blocking it, I'm hoping that it may soften up a little bit. So because I didn't like the first vest that I knit for my friend's daughter and for Esther's little friend, I decided to cast on another vest for her, and this time I'm following a pattern. Using scrap yarns again. I was watching Anne-Sophie Thybo's podcast. It's a Danish podcast, and she was talking about how she was very sentimental about her scrap yarns and how she liked having scrap yarns, and I was like, oh, I just want them out of they really stress me out, basically, because they take up space, I think, both physically and mentally. But anyway, I casted on a vest, this vest right here, which is just so sweet. And I saw it, and I just immediately felt like I had to knit this for Esther's little friend, because her mom, she's a little more, she's been dressing her daughter a lot more girly than I have with Esther, and so I thought this would be I thought she would like this. The pattern only goes to 24 months, so I have not been adding. I was thinking about just casting on more stitches, but I thought I don't want to do that because of the lace pattern and all that. So instead I went up a needle size, and I have yarn that is thicker than what the pattern calls for, and then I'm just hoping that it will all work out. And it's called, let me see, House Growth. So you can see there are different patterns. That there's a romper and a little top and things like that as well. So this is as far as I have gotten right now. I think I need to repeat the lace pattern maybe twice, and then I am done. Jakob is playing the guitar. I hope you can't hear it. Not because he's horrible, but just because it's annoying. Having like a background noise on top of me, I think. Or maybe you like it. Anyway, so I'm using scrap yarns, and I actually thought that I would have enough, this is what I have left, of this color for the whole yoke part. I don't think I'm going to have enough, which basically sucks. This is an avocado dyed yarn that I dyed myself on I think this is a Norwegian merino that I got a couple of years ago. I don't have it in the shop right now or anymore. I do have another ball of this same yarn in an avocado dyed, but it is a little lighter, which I didn't really. And I was thinking that that would be enough for the body. It's not gonna be, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm going to do again, and then hoping that it will turn out better than my previous vest. I have been thinking about maybe adding these for the body, like held together, and then just avocado dyed the whole thing, and then hoping that the color is going to be somewhat uniform. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm just going to continue and see what's going to happen, basically. Okay, then I have, just gonna get some coffee. Yeah. Then I don't really want to show you, I'm going to show you the back side, I guess. This shawl that I have been working on and designing, and I have ripped it back a couple of times. I'm going to have to rip it back again, just because the idea that I originally had is just not working out how I want it to. So I have another idea that I'm going to have to try. But it is taking a little bit of a break because I got mad at it. So I still love the color. This is my Beachcomber colorway on the my superwash merino and superwash nylon, my superwash merino and nylon, and my silk kid mohair yarns. Yeah. I guess I could show you a little bit of the thing that I like. So I'm gonna work a little bit more with this thing. Yeah, I have plans. I was hoping to have this finished and tested and everything before Fiber Folk, which will be in mid-August. We will, what is that called? Fiber Folk is going to happen on the 22nd, 23rd of August. You can follow us on Instagram and there will be more information. We are going to have to be a little more careful, obviously, because of the virus, but yeah, we're just really happy that it will be able to, you know, be a thing and that we don't have to cancel completely. And if you don't know Fiber Folk, it's a wool festival for small makers that I organized together with Jakob. Yeah, and we have a lot of wonderful vendors there, small makers, all of them, and very talented. So we are happy about that. So the last thing that I am working on is a pair of shorts for Esther. She is 3.5. And she is very particular about, well, everything, as you are when you are 3.5. But getting her dressed in the morning is, at the moment, just, yeah, it's a lot of work. Because all of her clothes is too tight, or it's like prickly, or yeah, we have to turn her socks inside out. Because she doesn't like the feel of the stitching and the toes and the socks, and yeah. Anyways, so she has 2 pairs of shorts and she only wants to wear one of them, which is just a little too little. I mean, Denmark is not that hot, but it's nice to have 2 pairs so you can switch between the two. She also had, I mean, a couple of other pairs, but she doesn't want to wear them. So I thought that I would knit her a pair, because my mom has knit her a sweater that she wears all the time, and she knitted it in a bamboo tencel yarn. It's very soft, and every time we put it on Esther, she's like, oh, this is so soft. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna knit her a pair of shorts in bamboo yarn, because I do have some bamboo yarn. So my original plan was to knit these, this is from a magazine called Marie's Idea. These right here, mamelukes, I don't know what they're called in English, but here. And I cast them on, and then I started knitting, and I realized that because it's a 100% bamboo yarn, it's just very heavy, and I thought that they would just be too heavy for her if I made them full length, or like the length that the pattern calls for. So I basically decided to just knit her a pair of plain shorts. So I'm gonna, you know, just follow the pattern, split for the legs, and then knit them for a couple of centimeters, or however long I want them, and then just bind off. So it's not gonna be these, oh, they're here, you should see them better here. It's not gonna be this at all. I also omitted the lace work. I just wanted them to be plain. I guess basically what I mean is that I'm just gonna knit to maybe around here, and then cast off, and then that will be it. Yeah, so that's one thing. The other thing is that the gauge for these are 27, I think. Why can't I see that? Yeah, 27 stitches per 10 centimeters. And this yarn is a DK wet yarn. The yarn is here, and it's a Pickles yarn. I don't think they carry it anymore. 100% bamboo. And I am just basically just knitting for this. I was knitting a sweater out of this, but I just, yeah, it's been laying and it's project back for a couple of years now. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna knit straight from the bottom of this and make some of this into pants instead for Esther. Anyway, so the gauge is different. So instead of casting on for the size 3 or 4-year-old, I cast on for a size 1-year-old. And I mean, it does look a little wide, but I will be adding an elastic to the waistband. And then, you know, maybe she could wear it for a couple of years even. That would be nice. I think it will be fine. If she can't, I mean, if she's too small to fit into these this year, she will fit them into them next year. I'm not really worried about that. Yeah, so that is my last project. Knitting a lot of little things at the moment. I think, again, this is also scrap yarn that I had laying around. I just have this need to get rid of all those extra balls and of yarn that I have. That's it. One last thing that I wanted to briefly mention is, oh, what's going on here? Okay. That I am having a small sale either on Instagram or on my own personal website, which is WOOLapyk.dk, but I'll write more about that on Instagram, of this yarn, and which is the 70% kid merino and 10% silk, and this, let's see, oh, this is messy, on this, which is Superwash merino nylon, and these are both the beachcomber colorway, which I am knitting my shawl out of. So I will be having these, a couple of, I don't have that many, but some skeins for sale of these, and then I have a few colorways of my 80% Superwash merino, 20% bamboo yarn. I would have that for sale as well. One of them, and one of the colors that I have the most of, is like a pink. If you've seen me in previous episodes, I am wearing or knitting on a pink t-shirt that I test knit, and it's called the Belly. So my camera died on me when I was recording yesterday, but I was talking about that I would put some yarn for sale, and since it's the day after, I had the time to grab the yarn that I was also putting up for sale, which is this colorway, which is called Ballerina, and this is a 20% bamboo and 80% Superwash merino, and the other one is this, the other colorway. So I don't have much of either one, but I thought that would be nice now for summer knitting. Yeah, and then in regards to then in regards to as this whoops podcasting, I've been doing a couple of podcasts in Esther's right down here. I've been doing a couple of podcasts in Danish, and I really enjoy that, and I think I am going to continue doing that. At the moment, I am really drawn to doing them in Danish, so I think that's what I'm going to do, and then probably English every so often as well. But I think the way that you can tell is I will write it in the title box, so if you are English and you see Danish written there, then you know it's a Danish podcast. I know it's not really that it's a little inconsistent, I know, and if you read anything about marketing and things like that, then it's not a good thing being inconsistent, but I have always been that with my podcasts and also on Instagram. Like on I post really irregularly, and my pictures, they don't necessarily have this unicorn look. Not unicorn, but unicorn look. Uniform. Oh god, this because Esther is running down here. Tack again. Uniform look. So so if you look on other people's Instagram, there are some people has very sort of distinct styles, and I don't have that. I don't know. I do it the way that I like to do things, and I hope you will continue watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.